Hello guys and welcome to this session which is Unreal Engine Blueprint for Beginner. My name is Roop Narayan Busal and I am a 3D and gaming trainer. In this class I will show you what are blueprints, why you should learn them and how to use blueprints within Unreal Engine. I will show you step-by-step guide how to create some blueprint actors such as opening doors, switching on off light or particle systems and much more. And the session is for complete beginners, so you don't require any experience. Without further delay, let's get right into the session. So this is the introduction page. We will learn the blueprints here. These are today's learning objectives, where you will see the introduction to blueprint editor interface, introduction to variables. So variables are very important in blueprints. You will learn the different data types inside of variables. So variables are basically the storing data types, the storing information of data. We'll look at the blueprint classes, how to create them. There are the level blueprints and blueprint class, parent-child inheritance, how to place nodes in the event graph, and the blueprint graph execution. The event graph is very important tab where we create all the graphs and nodes, all the functions of the blueprint. So what is blueprint? A blueprint is a visual scripting language created by Epic Games for Unreal Engine 4. Before Unreal Engine 4, there was a Kismet which was similar like Blueprint, but it is more advanced in Unreal Engine 4. It has so many things updated in terms of functions, in terms of events and many other things. So the blueprint means you will use logics to execute things. The functions will be executed with the logic. Blueprint is used within Unreal Engine editor to create new classes and gameplay functionality. You can create like car mechanics, or you can create the bullet mechanics, guns, opening closing doors and so many other things. A script in blueprint is represented by graphs of nodes which are connected by wires that defines the flow of execution. So from one node to another node, the information will be transferred through these wires. The word blueprint is also used to refer a game object that is created using blueprint. And there will be a question like in development part, scripting is needed, right? And the scripting is done by C++ in Unreal Engine, but after the blueprint there is no requirement of C++. You can create different type of scripts or different type of connections, functions and logics only inside blueprint. So it's very familiar to you because the graphs and nodes are something similar to the material nodes, and you can relate some nodes and functions with Maya's Hypershade. Okay, so it will be easy for artists because there is no need to write scripts again and again. These are the major blueprint types: the level blueprint and blueprint class. A level blueprint is a special type of blueprint that belongs to a level. It is used to define specific events and actions in a level. A level blueprint can be used to interact with blueprint actor classes and to manage some systems such as cinematics and level streaming. But the thing is, level blueprint only can be used in one level. You cannot use the level blueprint as a copy or cloning. So you cannot repeat this into the next level, right? But the blueprint class can be used in different levels. A class is the definition of data and behavior that will be used by a particular type of object. A blueprint class can be based on a C++ class or another blueprint class. A blueprint class is used to create interactive objects for the game and can be reused in any level. So you can use it repetitively, you can copy and paste the functions and logics. Okay, these are the different systems or different things you will see inside of blueprint editor. The object blueprint, the actor and actor component classes. When creating a new blueprint class, you must define the parent class. All variables and actions of the parent class will be part of the new class, which is known as a child class or subclass. This concept is called inheritance. Below are some parent classes. The object class. The object class is always the main class. The base class for objects in Unreal Engine, all the classes are subclasses of the object class. Actor, the base class used for objects that can be placed or spawned into a level. Basically, the functions will be applied to an actor. Actor will perform inside of level. Actor component, the base class for components that define reusable behavior that can be added to actors. So the reusable behaviors it do, actor component. Therefore, every actor is an object, but not all objects are actor. For example, an actor component is an object, but it is not an actor. I am showing you the user interface of Blueprint. So this is the user interface of Blueprint of Unreal Engine 4. Here you can see different sections. This is toolbar. Here you have different tools. I will explain you all of these things inside the editor. The components panel, here you can create different type of components. My Blueprint panel, to create variables, functions and events. Details panels, your selected actor or your selected components details will be available here, right? You will notice all of the different things. Viewport, so viewport means you can visualize your 3D object or your blueprint in the same way how you see in your actual Unreal Editor's viewport. So that will be a 3-dimensional viewport where you will see your 3-dimensional objects or blueprints. Event graph is this one, where you will create all the events, all the functions or all the these kind of graphs. There is one more thing, which is a construction script. So this is the construction script, means the script will be run before the game starts. Okay, but event graph runs when game is start and it will be running with the game.
Sir, I have a question. What are these white lines and green lines signify?
Okay, I will show you these things in editor, but the white lines are basically for the execution pins, the execution lines, and the other colors are for the data. These are the data wires, and this is the execution wire. Is it clear?
Yes.
And these are the very basics but very important tabs in Blueprint. The viewport tab, where we can see what our blueprint is made of our different components. The event graph, where we can see all of our blueprint nodes are functionally used. Construction script, where we can add things that happen before the game start. Inside of event graph, you will see the panel. It should be very familiar to you because it shares most of the same visual and functional elements as the material editor does. And you will see one by default created node, which is event begin play. It means when your game will start, if you want some information to be published, or if you want to give some special information to your component or actor, so it triggers actions when the player first begins playing the game. At the initial stage, at the starting point, it will work. Event actor begin overlap. So this is also a default node where the triggers actions when another actor begins touching or overlapping the space containing the existing actor controlled by the blueprint. So there will be the overlapping. When you will overlap with that particular thing, the different informations happen as you program in blueprint. Okay, so this is the end of this presentation. Now I'm going to show you how we create blueprints and how we work with the blueprint editor. So I'm here using Unreal Engine Unreal Engine 4.26. Before working on blueprint, you must have to obviously download Unreal Engine. If you don't have Unreal Engine, you can download it from here. Just go and search Epic Games. First you need to download Epic Games launcher. So this is the Epic Game launcher, and then the launcher will be installed. After your installation, you will open this launcher. So this is provided by Epic Games. The launcher means it's an application, and it is easy to download, install and manage the different versions of Unreal Engine, and so many other things are here. If you see, there are different sections. I already described these things in introduction to Unreal Engine video. So here I'm using Unreal Engine 4.26. I have installed other versions also in library tab. If you see, so these are two versions. 5.1 is also here, but the principles and things will be same for 5.1 also. Okay, fine. Then you can launch your Unreal Engine from here. After installing Epic Games, you need to install the engine versions from directly here. You will go to Unreal Engine, then library, then you can just click on this plus and you can just install your version from here. Okay, then if you don't want, you can just cross it. After Unreal Engine is installed, you can just launch it. You can launch it from here or from desktop also. Now I will create a project. The first thing is project we need to create, then we will work inside of that project. So the editor is opening. Here few my recent projects are visible. Now we are going to create a new project for blueprints. So come here in new project categories. Now I will choose games. So my project is based on games. Then we will go next. Now we have different templates. Here I am going to choose third person and go to next. Now you have these project settings. Make sure that your starter content is active. So just open your project with starter contents. Now I am just changing this location. I will just choose a desktop. Right, and I'll make a project folder here. Now you will write the project name. Introduction BP means introduction blueprint. Just create a project. So now you will see the default third person characters project will be open in editor. Yes, this is the project and the third person example map is active. You will notice some plugins are so many things, just dismiss them for now. This is your Unreal editor, and in third person example we have a very simple character setup here. You can see if you play the game, the character will be active, and you can just function this character with pressing W to move it forward, WDAS. So you can just control this character with this, and this character is fully created inside Blueprint. Hit space bar to jump. For back, press S. For forward, press W. For right, go with D, and for left, go with E. A. WAST. Okay, and you have this viewport with some default assets. We can just navigate it with scrolling for zoom in, zoom out, with holding Alt and middle mouse button to pan, and with holding Alt and left click to orbit the scene. So anytime if you want to play your game, just click on play button or press Alt P, and then escape to exit from this play mode, game mode. Now to create blueprint we need to go to the blueprint editor. First of all, I am going to select this character. Okay, this is the character. It has a capsule component, it has a default camera. From this distance this character will be visible every time. To check this character inside blueprint, we have to select this character first, and we can right click on it. Then you can go to the browse to asset. Now your character is visible and selected here in content browser, the third person character, and this is the blueprint character's blueprint. It is saying third person character blueprint class. Now if you want to open this, you just double click, and this time you can see the character's blueprint is open, and the graph is written by a blueprint. The name blueprint is there. Okay, you can just dock this panel here to next of the editor. So this is the editor and this is the blueprint. Okay, in this you will see different things. So I will show you, I will explain you each and every tab, each and everything here. So the first thing, I will come here in viewport. So this viewport is similar to this viewport, right? But only one object is visible here because only one blueprint is selected, and I open its blueprint. So this blueprint is for this character only, not for the other stuffs. They are visible in our level. So here this character is character has some functions. It is little animating, so it is reading all the informations from these details panels, because here in components the third person character self is selected. There are these components, the capsule component, which is the collision object. Basically this character will be collided by this basically the character will be collided with this capsule size. Okay, next is arrow component, means in which direction it is facing, at which direction it will be moved. Okay, so this is the front direction of the character. This is the arrow component. These are the different components. You can see the mesh, which is the actual character mesh. Camera boom, so this camera's distance, this camera's focus, you can see this is the camera boom, and the follow camera is actual camera shape. So these are the components, they are connected in this system, right? And when you are selecting different components from here, you can see the details are available for the different object type. So, and the details are different as per the object category. Okay, fine. So here you can just select your object and you have these options like scale and so on. You can choose character mesh also if you want to change informations, like if you want to scale your character in any axis. So these are the scale XYZ, rotation XYZ, location XYZ, like I'm increasing it to this axis, okay, scaling 5. So the character is scaled, but not other informations are changed, just scaling. Similarly we have rotations, okay. If you accidentally change any options from here, you can just click here to set it default. I think the character is in 90 degree, okay, 270 degree from that direction. So I will just go here and press 0 to reset its rotation value. Okay, similarly we have location and some other options here. You see animation, mesh information, materials and other things. Okay, here in my blueprint you have graphs, which is basically event graph, functions. So functions are inside of the construction script, and the variables. We will create these variables, okay. I will show you how to create variables and how to work with them. And here if you go to the event graph, you will see everything related to that character. So all the logic, all the functions and all the gameplay mechanics are stored here in event graph. As you can see, the gamepad input, the input axis, turn rate, world delta, mouse inputs, when you press something what will be happen. For jump you will press spacebar. So all of these informations are stored separately, and these nodes are basically to create functions or to create logic, okay. So these all things are to function logic in event graph. Now I will show you how to create some variables, okay. So these are the variables, okay. Before that I will show you how to navigate this space. It is very easy. In viewport the controls are same like editor viewport, like we can using alt and left mouse button to to orbit the scene, scroll to zoom in and zoom out, and alt middle mouse to pan. Now if you go to the event graph, you can just zoom in and zoom out with scroll, and you can hold right click and drag to pan. There is no rotation because this view is 2D view. Fine. One second, I will check if there are any questions in my online session. So now we are going to create some very basic variables. Okay, to create variables, come here in variables section and just click on this plus button. Now one variable is created. I can just rename this variable, and there are different variable data types. So by default this is boolean, but we can change the data type from here later on. I'm just renaming this variable, and I will just rename it like is healthy, or is safe, we can say. Okay, just a name only, then enter. See, now every time when you use event graph, when you create any node or any variable or any function, every time you need to compile your system, your things. So this small question mark means it should be compiled. Compiled means some updates are there, okay. Now it has been compiled. After compile, you see is safe is active here. Before compilation it was not available here in default value, now it is available. So it means the boolean is only work on and off value. If you press here, the boolean will be on. If if you press here, the boolean will be off. Now is safe is true or false information it stores only. So to create this information here, you can simply come here and you can just search for the event begin play node. Okay, to search any node here, you can just right click and you can write event begin play. Just write event and you can see here the event begin play is. Click on this. So event begin play is here. Now I can just connect another information with this wire. Okay, and I will create a branch. Why? Because I am just showing information of true and false. Because this is the boolean variable, I will use a branch. So branch is an executable action. Here you have true and false. Now you can connect true with one information and false with another information. Now true, go to true and search for a print screen. So print screen means the message will be printed to your editor, to your game level, sorry. Come here in print screen. Now you can just rename this. Instead of hello, I can write like is safe. This place is safe. Okay, this message will be written here when I will start my game. See, this place is safe, right? So this is the work what Blueprint does basically. I'm showing you more examples here, and with the same branch. Now I would like to connect this. Okay, I would like to connect this boolean. Just come here, just a second. I think in a simulation mode. It is paused. You have to escape it, so you need to fully exit from this gameplay mode, then only you will be able to edit this graph. Okay, now come here and drag and drop this boolean, and here we will use get is safe. So there are two different things, get and set. We need to get this. Now I am going to plug this information in condition. So this is the condition, is safe or not. Now I am going to print another message which is this place is not safe. For that again I will go here. You can just click here and drag with the left click. So automatically you will see the search engine is available. Here you can again write print string. Sorry. So this is the print screen. Now I am writing another information. This place is not safe. Clear? So there are two different informations. One is this place is safe, another is this place is not safe. Now what it will show in our game, just compile it, and you will always save this, so the blueprint will be saved. I'm going to the third person example map. Come here and play the game. Now it is saying this place is not safe. So here in is safe option, there is safe value. See, false or true. Now just switch it on, compile and save. Now it will say this place is safe. Clear? So two messages are there, this place is safe or this place is not safe, and you are just toggling or switching these informations with one variable called boolean variable. So it was a boolean variable. Is it clear? Now just rearrange this thing. Now I am showing you some other examples of the variables. Click here again to this plus button to add another variable. Now I will change this variable from boolean to let's integer. What is integer? So integer is just a whole number. it only stores number informations. So I will write it my int. Now just compile. After compilation only you will be able to see that data information. See, this is the information. It only can store numbers, and numbers without decimal value. See, now we can just type 10, 20 or any, but we cannot type like 15.5. Okay, so integer means a whole number. Another variable we will change to a float. I will write it to my float. Compile. See, float means you can use numbers with decimal values like 10.4, 0.005 or anything in decimal. Another variable, I'm changing it to string. So string means it can be anything. It can be a number, okay, it can be a text, it can be a decimal, or it can be some special characters also. It can store all these informations: text, special characters, numbers, and decimal values also, right? Next, I will change it to a vector. Okay, so this is important. Vector, I am showing you my vector. I will show you the functions of the vector. So here in my character there is a direction, in which direction it is directing, and what I want is, I want the character's information, its position information, the x, the y, and the v, the x, y, and the z value here. Okay, when I will start my game. Now there is no information. See how to create that. Come here in event graph. Now I will just detach this event begin play, otherwise it will always show the same message. We can just disconnect this with the holding alt and clicking here. That will be disconnected. Now compile and save. Go to your level, play it. There is no message flashing. Okay, now we are going to use this my vector. To work with this, I am just show you.
So I have a question. Can you please repeat how to detach it from the node?
Okay, how to detach this from the node, right? See, it's very simple. To attach, just left click, go and drop. Okay, so it will be attached, but it will not attach anywhere. The same kind of information or the same kind of node only will be attached, the same kind of execution nodes or same kind of data nodes. To detach it, it is very easy. There are different ways. One is just you can hold alt and click here or here. Okay, it will be detached. Or you can hold control and click, drag and drop. Okay, to add another node, or just click anywhere in your background to detach that. Clear? Okay. Fine. So again we are just detaching it, and we are going to creating a graph of my vector. So here we will just take that that character basically here. To get that character, we need to write something like a get world rotation. See, when I type get world rotation or location, sorry, not a rotation, we have to use a location because it is a vector, not a rotator. Location. So there are different options like get world location of the camera boom you want, or a capsule component, or follow mesh, or a mesh. So we will use this capsule component which is bounded in our character, outside of our character, right? So I will just pick this node, the capsule component node, just keep it here. Okay, then we will use some logics, we will use some functions. So I will just drag it, this vector here, and I will just set this value, not get but set the value. Now I'm going to connect this here, execution pin, an execution pin. Then I will use this return value to my vector, just like this, and at the end I want to print a message. So just right click, or you can press tab and search print string. Okay, print string. Now from this set I will just connect it here. Okay, and I want to connect this to that. This is a float data, guys. This is a float data and this is a string data. The float and the string cannot be connected by default, but if you just drag, it will convert automatically, and it will add one node which is the converter of the float to string, right? Now what will be happen once I will compile and save my graph? Now come here and just play this, you will see the character's position is visible. You can add some more time to show that message, like it is 2 seconds. We can keep it for 5 seconds, save it. Now you will see this message for longer. I think there is a question, just wait. So can you repeat the process to create a node? Yes, sure. To create a node anywhere in this graph, you can just right click and you can search for that node, like print string. Click on that, the node is created. Okay, or to create, you can just click on these pins and drag to this empty space. You can search and again the node will be there. So the third way is you can just hold tab, and again you can create any node. Okay, I think it's clear. Is it clear? Okay, thanks. So now I want something different. Now what I want is, I want to press a key when I'm moving in my space, and I want to just press a key. Only at that time those vector informations will be published, right? It's at the event begin play right now. So I want to press a key now. For that I will search for a key, hold tab and write like O key. Okay, what I want is, when I am pressing key O or Q key, okay, Q is here. Now when the Q is pressed, the message will be flashed. Just detach this node and go to pressed and connect it. Now compile and save, come here and play. See, now there is no information at the beginning of our game, but when we are going forward and when I'm pressing Q, see, every time when I'm pressing Q, you can see the message is there, right? So it is showing the actual position of that character, where it is located. Is it interesting? Yes. So this is the way how we create our graphs and nodes, and how we execute these functions in event graph. Now for this type of beautiful setup, you can just group different type of nodes with pressing C. Just select all of these nodes and press C. It was a boolean. Just drag. Just press C to comment. Write it what it is. It's a vector. Fine, it is clear. Okay, now I'm going to delete all of these things, not required, and I will create my own blueprint class. So this is the characters blueprint class. Fine, just compile and save. Come here. Now we are going to create our own blueprint. So first of all, we need to add a level here. I'm going to file, open a new level, and choose this empty level, which is empty, and don't save this. I don't want to save this level. Okay, so this is my empty level, right? And here only a box is available, and this is the player start point. When I will start playing my game, the character will be positioned at that point, right? And again, I can use WASD keys to manipulate this character, to move this character. Okay, great. Press escape to exit. Now I'm going to create my own blueprint here. So for that, first we are going to start with the very basic. I will just copy this floor first. Just select a floor and press Alt and click and drag to copy this. Make sure that it is properly aligned. Hold Shift to select another one. Hold Alt to copy. Just move here, the center point, and I will make a zone. Okay, I will make an area, and what I want is when my character will reach at that area, there will be something happen, like there will be a fire coming, or there will be some particles will be spawned, or the light will be on and off. You can do anything. So I will just make that area. Go to cylinder, just click and drag it here. So these are the different actors available here in the place actors. These are some of the basic primitives, geometric shapes, right? I will just scale it down like this. So there are usual move, rotate and scale tools with some snapping options. So we have snapping here. I'm just switching it off in my scale. Okay, now scale it a little more. 3 and 3. Okay, then we will place it here. Come here. Now what I want is, when my character will reach at that point, that area, something will be started animating. So just play it. Now my character is here. If you go here, now there is nothing. Okay, but we'll create something interesting. Now I will use a particle system, a default particle system here, and I will use a collision system here. So first of all, I will use a particle system. Go here, click on this small icon, then choose contents, starter contents, the particles. Our project was set with the starter contents at the beginning point, but if you don't have any starter contents, you can always add them by this button. Click on this button and go to the add feature or content pack, then you can go to the content packs and you can choose and you can add that content pack into your project. Okay, now we have all of these particle systems. I'm going to use one of them. I will use which one? I can use this one. P fire, P smoke, P explosion. Yes, we can use a explosion effect, right? Or we can use a fire system. Okay, so this is my fire system here. So there is a fire. Okay, I will just scale its size 2 by 2 by 2. Don't make a copy. So fire is there. Now I will play this. The fire is already there, but what I want is when the character will reach at that point, only then the fire will be start emitting. Okay, so right now the fire is already exist for every time. Now what we are going to do is we are going to switch off this fire first. Fire actor is there, but I will off this fire's visibility. Now I'm selecting this, and just a second. You have all of these details here. Come down, and there will be a visibility section. See, in rendering there is a visible option. So the fire is visible now, it is invisible now. Okay, you can switch it on and off to visible and invisible. Now make it invisible first. Then what I will do is, to understand that the character is here, it is touching this cylinder, we need a trigger here. So I will use a triggers. There are different type of triggers like box trigger, the sphere trigger. I'm going to use a box trigger here, right? The box, keep it here. Go to the perspective and go to the top view. So just align this trigger to your cylinder. You can just scale it. Yes. Yeah, so it is almost fitted, just like this. Okay, again go to top and choose perspective, add some height. Okay, so now this is the trigger object. When my character will overlap this, the fire will start emitting. Now just save this current level, the name of the fire, save it. Now play. There is no fire. Okay, there is no fire now. Now what we will do is we will work with the blueprints to enable and disable that fire. Okay, so so now select your particle object and select your particle object and right click here and just go to the browse asset. It is here. Come here to the level blueprint, come to the blueprints and open a level blueprint, right? The level blueprint will open the level objects blueprints. Now this is the graph, event graph, which is empty, and this is little different from the blueprint class, and it is written a level blueprint. Now we need to start something here. First of all, we need to load that object. To load that object, just right click, and here you have an object which is selected, create a reference to p file. So this is the object, right? I'll just keep them aside. Now we are working on a visibility section, so what we will do is we will click on this pin, this circle, and just click and drag here. Then I will search for the visibility. So just search a toggle visibility, and toggle visibility for the particle system component, right? This is the toggle visibility which will be switched on and off. Okay, then there will be a trigger that makes it enable and disable. So I will just now select another thing, which is my trigger. Let me select this trigger. Trigger is selected. Now come to this fire and right click, and there is a add event for trigger box. Click here. There is a collision. Now this trigger will work like a collision object. Okay, when the character will touch this trigger, the fire will be start emitting. So we will just click on this add-on actor begin overlap. Then we will just switch its pin here. Okay, now compile and save. Okay, before it I will show you one thing. If you connect it with the event begin play, what will be happening here? Compile and save. See, by default there is no fire, but when you will start your game, event begin play means when your game is starting, the fire will be started. See, previously there was no fire, but once my game is started, the fire is emitting there. I want its opposite, right? Come here, detach this event begin play. It was just to show you. Now come here and connect it. Now similarly we have one more option, which is for the overlapping. And the start and end means when you are start overlapping, and end means when you are moving from that region. You are not in that region, you are not in that trigger area. So again select it. I think it was selected previously. Come to fire, right click, collision and overlap. Okay, here also I will just connect it to this pin. Now this toggle will be on and off, right? When the character will start overlapping that trigger, fire will be on. When it stop overlapping that trigger, the fire will be off. Compile and save. Fire, play this. So there is no fire now. Now I am moving my character. Okay, see, the fire is begin. And when I am moving from that point, it should be off. See, just come back. Just a second. See, it is not working when I am coming back. Just skip it, go there, detach this one, attach it again, compile and save. It will work. It is not working, I think. Okay, there is a component. It is working basically, right? So now we can use delay also. Delay means if you want to off after some time, then you can add a delay here. Go here and add a delay. So delay is another node. So we can delay for 0.5 seconds. Similarly here, delay 4.5 seconds. So there is emission with some delay. Okay, fine. So this is it. Okay, so this is done, guys. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we are going to make another thing, which is opening and closing a door. So basically my third person character will be near to the door, and the door will be opened automatically and the door will be closed automatically once it leaves that region. So let's see how to create that system in Blueprint. Okay. Sorry. So I'm just going to close this and I will create another blueprint. Go to games, next I will choose the third person, next, and rename it Introduction to Blueprint. Here I will use a door blueprint. I'll write it as a door blueprint. Select this folder and write a door blueprint here also, or door BP. Now create this project. So again I have opened this level with the third person. Now what I will do is I will create a blueprint, a blueprint class from scratch. So here in my content browser there are some contents like geometry, mannequin, starter content, third person and third person BP. So from here I will try to create a new blueprint class. So right click here, add a new folder, write it as blueprints, double click to open that. Now right click and click on new folder, write it door blueprint, and again right click here. Now create a blueprint class. So blueprints are special assets that provide an intuitive node based interface that can be used to create new types of actors and script level events, giving designers and gameplay programmers the tools to quickly create and iterate gameplay from within Unreal Engine from within Unreal Editor without ever needing to write a line of code. So here you don't need to write codes. Okay, so this is the beautiful thing of Blueprint. Click to Blueprint class. Now you have different Blueprint classes. These are the common classes. We will start working with an actor. Later I will show you the different examples, the different things like pawn, actor, a player, gameplay in other lessons. Here you will find some other classes. All classes are there. So many classes are there. For now we are choosing an actor. Now just rename it as door underscore BP, which is stand for door blueprint. Now double click to open door blueprint. Now it is open in my viewport. So as I shown you earlier, as I mentioned in previous example, the viewport is a 3D view where we can see our object in 3D space, and construction script and an event graph. So we are going to use this event graph to create open and close door functions. Now first of all I will just remove these things, these nodes from here, delete, and see this is the blueprint, not a level blueprint. Now I'm going here at add components. Here you will find different type of components. So they contains like audio, they contains different scenes, particles, static meshes, skeletal mesh which is animated mesh, sphere, plane, or different type of options. So I'm going to choose a static mesh here. Static means a stable mesh. A static mesh is a door frame first. Write it as a door frame, and I will just plug a door object into this static mesh none button. So this is the mesh basically. Right now we don't have any. To add a mesh here, it is very easy. First you can just come here at window and go to content browser, and you can access content browser too. So content browser will be attached here at your bottom, and here you can see we have starter content, we have props, and we have door and door frame. So I will just plug this door frame here. Just click, drag and drop here. Okay, it is now here, and you can just push it down, drag it down also. Now if you'll go to the viewport, you will be able to see the frame, a 3D object here, right? Next, now I'm going to attach a door also, right? There will be a door. So to attach a door, I'm going to create another static mesh, and I will write it as a door. So for the door, again we have the same static mesh. We can change it from here, and we can choose SM door. See, now we have two objects, one is a frame, another one is a door. Now just try to align this door here like this. There is a snapping magnet. Okay, to snap it properly, you can choose a view, orthographic view, front view, right? Okay, there is a little gap. I can just switch off this snapping option, or I can just choose one. Now it is snapped. Don't overlap, just snap it. Alright, changing the view. Yeah, the door is there. Now if you press E to rotate, you can rotate it in that axis to open the door. So which is rotate Z axis. Okay, cool. So the blueprint is created. We have now door, frame, and the door. So this is the time to create logics and functions to open this door. Okay, one more thing we need to create, which is a collision object, or a collision object basically. So come here, go to add component, and use a box collision or collision box. So just write collision box, the box is there. Just press W to move it up, try to adjust it. Alright, so make it little larger. Cool, nice. Now compile and save the blueprint. Now what I want to do is, when my character overlaps this box, and when I will press a specific key, the door will be opened. Then when I will press the same key again, the door will be closed. Okay, so moving next. Now we need to create nodes in event graph. So select your box, come here at the very down, you have all of these events. from here you will choose on component begin overlap. So we will start from this, click here. Okay, you can see this node is on component begin overlap, which is the box. Now it means when my character will start overlapping this, then the function will be created. So I will cast this thing into that third person character. For that you will click here, go here and just search cast to third person character, cast to third person character. So this is right, so this is the third person character. Now we will enable and disable the input of this character. So enable the input when the character is begin overlap, disable the input when the character ends overlap. We need to make another node from here, add end overlap. Now again connect the same third person character, cast to third person character. Then we will just enable and disable the inputs. Come here, write enable input and disable input. So it enables the input, it disables the input. Then the function will be from get player controller, get player controller. Okay, it will play the controller and it will go to the target of the disable input. Just compile and save. Okay, there is an error, it is not compiling, maybe there is something missing. See, the overlapping component is not chosen from here and here, so the other actor will be object and other actor will be object here also. Now just compile, the errors are gone. So this is also an actor, that's why we need to plug with other actor. Okay, cool. Now the next thing is what I want to press a key. I will press a key, only then the door will be open. So this is just a function we created for the overlapping system, start and end overlap. Now for the opening door we need to make another network, another graph. Now I will just tab here and search for a key, E key. I will press E key, come and choose that E key. Now I will use a node called flip-flop. What flip-flop does? Flip-flop is kind of switch or kind of toggle. Okay, one time it will use A, another time it will automatically use B. So when pressed E, what flip-flop will do? Flip-flop will be added into a timeline. So I want to animate a gate, I want to animate a door. So the door's animation axis is rotate Z. This is for the animation, we should use a timeline. Just come here to A and add a timeline. Add a timeline and then just connect this timeline's update with the relative rotation. Just go here and add a relative rotation. So set relative rotation. So relative rotation for the target scenes component, set relative rotation door. Okay, so this is the relative rotation door. And what we need to do is we need to rotate it in 90° in Z axis, compile and save. Now come to the level, play this, just drag it and drop it here. The blueprint is, play it, press E, the door is opening. See, when I am pressing E, the door is opening, but it is opening very fast without any interpolation. There is no animation, it is like a switch. So I'll fix this animation, come here, and I will work with the timeline. Okay, just double click on this timeline. You can use keys here, click on this F. Now right click here to add a key. So this is the first key. I will place it at 0 frame, the 0 time. This is showing time in a seconds manner and value. So value is 0 at the frame number 1. There will be 0 rotation, and next I will right click and add to key. The time will be 2 seconds and the value will be 90. So now the graph is not visible. Just align it in horizontal and vertical. Now see, this is the graph. Compile and save. Come here, play this, just keep it here. Now play this, come here and press E. Now see, door is opening, but again the speed is not that much good. So what I will do is I will use a auto curve instead of this linear curve. So select these points, right click on the point, then go to auto curve. So this is auto curve, which smooths my animation, which will smooth my animation. Now come to the event graph again. So this E will be a flip-flop toggle. So when I will press E, the door will be open, and when I will press E again, the door will be closed. Right. So to do that, come here to B and go to reverse. Now you need to add this track. See, this is the animation track, but it is not connected to my new rotation. We need to connect it, but there is a problem because this is a different thing, a float, which is not a rotation, but this is a rotation value. To connect this, it is not connecting directly. See, to connect this, we need another node which is called a make rotator. So make a rotator which will convert this into a rotation value. So just click and drag here and type a make rotator. You can see make rotator is here because I'm trying to connecting it from the rotation area. So now find that axis, which is my Z axis. My door is opening in rotate Z. You can click on this, drag and just connect. Okay, so this is fully connected. Now compile and save. Okay, fine. It is clear. Yeah, thank you. So next, come here and just play it. What is happening? See guys, you are coming here and pressing E key. The gate is opening slowly, and when you are again just coming back, okay, and pressing E, see the door is not closing. I'm going to fix it. Just come here, and I think we need to just reconnect this again. Connect it here, connect it here, and it will be reversed, and there will be a make rotator for that animation. Z, compile and save. Come here and do it again. pressing E, opening, pressing E, closing. Yeah, this is perfect now. Pressing E, opening the door, pressing E, closing the door, right? See, okay, opening and closing both. Yeah, so that's all. It was a very simple but very interesting example of opening and closing the door with the blueprint class. Now I will just keep them separate, just drag, select all of these things, press C to comment. This is the character overlapping or character collision, you can write, and this is the press E key to open or close the door. Yeah, that's all guys. So this is it, the class is over. So we will learn some other very interesting examples in next class. Thank you so much for joining this class. Yeah, if you have any questions, please ask, I will respond to you.
Yes, sir, I have a question. Is it possible to make full-fledged game without coding?
Okay, without coding, it is possible to do a lot of things inside of game, but it is not possible to make a full-fledged game without coding part. And we cannot say 100% coding, or we cannot say 100% blueprint. We need a combination of blueprint and coding both, right? So if you are talking about a full-fledged game, there will be a lot of data, there will be different assets, components, so many information. So you need to use both of the things. Okay. Any other questions? No? All clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you so much. You're welcome.